When you were young, what really scared you, the dark or the unknown? Of course it was not knowing. Blackness itself means nothing, but our lack of knowing what's there, our lack of vision, scared us. So what really scares you, the future or the unknown? Not knowing what tomorrow holds, success or failure, happiness or sadness, loss or gain, or simply maintaining any of these things or not, that's what frightens us. We all want to know what's coming, if the trial is worth pulling through, or if we even have time left enough to care about anything. Should this fear drive us into being better, or would going through the motions, going through destiny, really make our lives more worth the living? Donnie Darko is a troubled kid. He has mental health issues.
I'd like to try something new this time. Have you ever been hypnotized?
Despite being exceptionally intelligent.
Let me preface this by saying that your Iowa test scores are intimidating.
Picking fights with life coaches.
I think you're afraid. Are you telling us this stuff so we can buy your book? That was some of the worst advice I ever heard.
Is questioning time itself.
She up and left the church. She wrote this book. She started teaching science.
Has a wealth of teenage problems.
Fuck that! You know what I think?
And a knack for creating his own personal apocalypse. He is, for a lack of a better word, confused.
It was as though this plan had been with him all his life, now in his 15th year, crystallized with the pain of puberty.
He, like many in this story, are dealing with their own versions of fear.
She said that every living creature on Earth dies alone. I've just never seen any proof, so
The search for God is absurd.
It is if everyone dies alone.
Does that scare you?
If they oversimplify it for profit,
I'm not afraid anymore!
or use it to deter actual creative thought.
And I think that this garbage should be removed!
Excuse me. We are losing them to apathy, to this prescribed nonsense.
I am sorry that you have failed.
Fear, as we all know, is a motivator.
Things aren't that simple. There are other things that need to be taken into account here, like the whole spectrum of human emotion.
And as stated previously, who wouldn't try to look into the future if possible? Donnie decides to give in to his hallucination or time-traveling entity Frank to obtain this ability, or at least to placate to its demands due to its reasoning.
You're in great danger.
This, as expected, makes him create his supposed destiny. He begins to believe that some sort of cosmic plan or predetermined event is the greatest thing, creating structure or a reason of being.
Well, if God controls time, then all time's pre-decided. If you could see your path or channel, then you could see into the future.
Well, you're contradicting yourself, Donnie. If we were able to see our destinies manifest themselves visually, then we would be given a choice to betray our chosen destinies.
Not if you travel within God's channel.
His fear of not following the trail or being unhappy as a result drives him to go through a destined path, littered with some good,
I'm really glad school was flooded today.
Why is that?
Because you and I never had this conversation.
but mostly death, murder, and pain to innocent people. In his final ruminations, he appears to understand this.
And what if you could go back in time and take all those hours of pain and darkness and replace them with something better?
And gives the ultimate sacrifice to set it right.
If the sky were to suddenly open up, it would only be you and your memories, the choices you've made, and the people you've touched.
He gives it up entirely, even going as far as when seeing the future saved his life. Because if he wanted to see once, what's stopping him from a second peek and round 2 of horrid side effects? The ending of the film shows what happens if he hadn't given in to what his fear brought on, and implies the future prosperity of those who would have died, been hurt, etc. It's assumed that all these people affected by the change are awake after the crash because they have some knowledge of what happened, even if it might have just seemed like bits of a horrible dream. They seem to know there could have been a worse path, or maybe they really did just wake up to a crash in the middle of the night. It doesn't really matter because they don't know what the future holds. They aren't bound by following a road leading to any factual conclusion. They can create anything for themselves, if only they stop asking what they should be later,
How can I decide what I want to be when I grow up?
but what they want to make themselves become. Thank you.